Happy New Year, and welcome to your CCRC Community News. I'm Donna Snaringer. 2025 marked a year of progress and expanded impact for CCRC. We improved access to childcare by launching MCT's Care Connect and CareWait platforms, streamlining communication and enrollments for families and childcare providers. Family Resource Center services expanded in Sylmar and Canoga Park. The lobby in the Antelope Valley was beautifully renovated, and we were well underway doing the same at HQ, even though that schedule was moved up a bit due to the unexpected flood on our first floor. To meet the needs of families, we expanded our Family Basic Needs Center and distribution efforts. We partnered with Hope the Mission to support families at the new Woodlands Head Start Center and strengthened community connections through baby shower, play groups, and storytime events. Home visiting services expanded to support children in the San Bernardino area, while a partnership with Stanford University helped guide future early learning planning. And through data-driven storytelling, we inform program implementers and policy and decision makers at the local, state, and federal level about the barriers and solutions for childcare, family, and community well-being. These efforts, along with many others across the agency, reflect CCRC's continued commitment to innovation, collaboration, and excellence, ensuring families have access to care, critical resources, and opportunities to support healthy family development now and into the future. This year marks CCRC's 50th anniversary. What started off with a group of volunteers ready to connect children and families with childcare providers in the San Fernando Valley has now grown into over 1,400 staff providing resource connections for families looking for childcare and early learning, training and coaching, family well-being, and access to basic needs, and so much more. We look forward to celebrating 50 years of service over the course of this year. Tune in every month to learn more about CCRC's history and evolution. Securing the Future for California Families, CCRC's policy conference brought together over 250 early education field experts, advocates, policymakers, and allies to discuss issues facing children and families with a focus on health, equity, economic stability, policy and advocacy, and partnerships. CCRC News reporter Yvonne Perez shares more details. Yvonne?
That's right, Donna. It was a full house at the Garland Hotel where childcare advocates, educators, and philanthropists met for a second year in a row for CCRC's 2026 Policy Conference. The two-day conference started with opening remarks by CCRC's president, Donna Snaringer, who encouraged us on staying grounded among all the chaos, whether that's through music, books, movies, or time with loved ones. We had a lunch plenary talking about the federal policy outlook for California children and families with panelists Michael Uden, Principal at Rabin, Ann Hedgepeth, Senior Vice President of Policy and Research at Childcare Aware of America, and Stephanie Schmidt, Director of Childcare and Early Education at the Center for Law and Social Policy. This was followed by 8 sessions in the afternoon with topics like connecting childcare and economic growth, immigration policy changes and its impact on families, and the power of coalitions.
Within this work, I'm realizing through this conference that partnership is so important. And beyond networking is just having alignment within our approaches, our reporting, and how we're capturing information overall. And also within that, having the understanding that policy kind of is the effect, right? Policy actually creates that required change. And so getting on that one accord and working collaboratively is something that has surfaced and it's becoming so striking clear within this work.
The conference keynotes were co-founders of Raise the Bar Foundation, Lori and Anthony Barr, who spoke about the importance of aligning policies that ensure student parents have a support system they can rely on. Day 2 lunch plenary presented and moderated by CCRC's CEO Dr. Michael Onick talked about changing the narrative, using media to educate others about children and families with panelist Connie Leyva, Executive Director at KVCR and former state senator, and Christina Alvarado, Executive Director of Childcare Alliance Los Angeles. We had 10 more sessions throughout the day with topics like tackling food insecurity to support whole child and family well-being, navigating the legislative process, and the cost of living, tackling California's affordability crisis. Some key themes that came up during the event include amplifying family stories, aligning systems and policies that work and help real people, and showing up as a united front, because we're all in this together.
Collective community is power. The fact of the matter is we learn from each other. We grow strength from each other. We grow courage from each other. And so it's so important that we gather. And many times misinformation thrives when we're isolated. So when we bring people together, we learn from each other. We understand sort of the trends. But most importantly, we build priorities together. And to me, that is power.
Attendees left inspired by all the insights and great conversations throughout the event. Donna, back to you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you to our panelists, speakers, sponsors, and attendees who joined us for these important conversations. This month, communities across the country honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And in February, CCRC will join the nation in celebrating Black History Month. It's time to reflect on the achievements, leadership, and resilience of Black Americans and the ongoing pursuit of equity and justice championed by Dr. King. Through service, education, and community engagement, organizations like CCRC continue his work by supporting families, expanding access to resources, and creating opportunities that help children and communities thrive. This moment reminds us that Dr. King's message of hope, service, and unity continue to guide the work being done in our communities today. We're only a few weeks into 2026, but there's been a lot going on in the early childhood education world. Let's catch up. Earlier this year, the Trump administration proposed pausing funding for key social service programs, including the Social Services Block Grant, TANF, and the Child Care and Development Fund. On January 7th, California and 4 other Democratic-run states were notified of the pause and filed a lawsuit the next day challenging its legality. On January 9th, a federal judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking the freeze while the courts review the case. CCRC continues business as usual during this time and monitors developments closely. Also on January 8th, Governor Gavin Newsom delivered his final State of the State address. The next day, the Department of Finance released the proposed 26-27 budget, beginning a 6-month negotiation process. The proposal includes continued investments in childcare and early education. CCRC's government relations team provides updates throughout the budget process and all year. Visit the Legislative Corner on our website and follow us on social media to learn more. Here are some things to know before you go. We want to amplify your voice. If having access to critical programs like childcare have impacted your life, please share your story at ccrcca.org/stories. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to follow us on social media. Reporting on the latest news and stories in early education, I'm Donna Snaringer with your CCRC Community News Update.